Hello, I'm Tracy Pa and welcome to this Sunday's episode of Scope. Papua New Guinea proudly welcomed its first Airbus A220-300 series aircraft, named the People's Balus, just ahead of the nation's 50th Golden Jubilee anniversary on September 15, 2025. The arrival of this aircraft signifies a major milestone in the country's aviation sector and is part of a larger plan to enhance air travel connectivity. The aircraft was flown into the country by Papua New Guinea's very own Captain Beverly Paki and Captain Timothy Narara, symbolizing a notable achievement in both aviation and national pride. This addition to the fleet is expected to bolster tourism, trade, and overall transportation efficiency as Papua New Guinea looks to celebrate its rich heritage and embrace future opportunities.
Papua New Guinea's most anticipated aviation moment became a reality on Monday, September 15, 2025, when New Guinea's very first Airbus A220-300 series aircraft, proudly known as the People's Balus, touched down at Jackson's International Airport, Port Moresby, at 10 a.m. The historic landing coincided with the country's 50th independence anniversary, a fitting milestone for both the national flag carrier and the country. Arriving slightly ahead of schedule, the aircraft performed a spectacular flyover across Port Moresby, thrilling thousands from coastal villages from Bootless Bay to Pari, downtown Port Moresby, Anuabada, Tatana, Porebada, and Boira, giving our people a glimpse of the People's Balus. Families also stopped along the road at 7 Mile to catch a glimpse, waving flags and cheering as the brand new jet showed proudly in the nation's striking colors of red, black, and gold. At the aim of the flight were Captain Beverly Paki, New Guinea's first Airbus A220 captain and a proud trailblazer for Papua New Guinean women in aviation, together with veteran aviator Captain Timothy Narara. Their leadership in the cockpit symbolized technical excellence and the growing depth of PNG's aviation expertise. The Airbus A220 registered P2-PGA began its delivery flight from Montreal, Canada on Thursday, September 10, which in PNG time is Friday, September 11, 7 a.m. Its journey included transits through Vancouver, Honolulu, and Nadi in Fiji before completing the final leg to Port Moresby on Independence Eve. Following a ceremonial water salute, the aircraft taxied to its parking bay, where His Eminence Cardinal Sir John Ribat blessed the aircraft before the Prime Minister cut the ribbon to officially welcome the People's Balus. Prime Minister James Marape led the official welcome alongside government leaders, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the New Guinea Board and Management, and hundreds of staff. He described the moment as a reflection of the nation's resilience and progress.
And I just want to take this time to say thank you to our national airline. Since its birth in November 1st, 1973, the airline has remained at work, flying our skies and visiting international destinations gracefully over its long history, over 52 years of unbroken and continuous service, despite the impediments that come in between. Why don't Papua New Guineans here today join me in thanking New Guinea past and present. Thank you so much.
Marape thanked the partners Airbus, Azora, and financial institutions, including the Asian Development Bank, for their support in acquiring the aircraft. The Prime Minister also paid tribute to Captain Paki, who made history by flying the A220 into Jackson's International Airport and reflected on her father, Captain Ted Paki, as a pioneer pilot in Papua New Guinea.
And what a wonderful sight to see the plane flying in and Captain Paki, the second Captain Paki to grace our airlines. This time around, Miss Beverly Paki, a commendation to you and Captain Timothy Narara for being in the cabin to historically bring our first A320 to be part of our fleet of airlines going forward. And there can be no greater moment than such moments to see your own daughter and your own brother, as well as those who associate in the crew that make the plane fly, being flown into a country for the first time. Our effort to refleet our national airline to make sure we maintain safety and also increase profitability for our national airlines company.
You're watching Scope. We'll continue the story of the People's Balus after the break, where the Prime Minister acknowledges Air Niugini for more than 50 years of aviation services. At the welcome ceremony of the People's Balus, Prime Minister James Marape unveiled a forward-looking vision for the airline, which includes launching flights to the Middle East and the United States. He also acknowledged Air Niugini for more than 50 years of aviation services.
Air Niugini was founded on November 1st, 1973, just 1 month before Papua New Guinea gained self-government. During the welcome ceremony of the People's Balus, Prime Minister James Marape recognized the airline's services in over 50 years. It has grown together with the country ever since. He highlighted that 90% of Air Niugini's workforce today are Papua New Guineans, reflecting the foresight of the Somare generation who dreamt of a nation capable of training its own people to lead in every profession. The Prime Minister used the occasion to unveil a forward-looking vision for Air Niugini and its role in shaping the nation's next 50 years, and that is restoring services to Narita, Japan before the end of 2025, establishing direct services to the Middle East by 2030, and launching flights to the east coast of the United States by 2035 to coincide with PNG's 60th independence anniversary. The Prime Minister reaffirmed that the government would continue supporting the airline through guarantees and partnerships to ensure safety, sustainability, and profitability.
16 governments have come and gone before us. We don't blame those governments. The Somare generation laid the foundation for where we are today. In those time and space, our economy was smaller, and we had no affordability to step out to make these ambitious, bold plans to reflect Air Niugini as well as other pursuits that we want to do. Today, I want to say Air Niugini is mature airline. Its safety record is #1. Maintaining services to more than 6 or 7 international destinations. And I want to ask Air Niugini today, by 2030, by the turn of this decade, there must be a flight that is servicing UAE. By 2035, when our nation celebrates 60 years of independence, there must be a long flight servicing the east coast of USA. And by the end of this year, we must have restored our flight to Narita, or Japanese destination. This must be the ambition. This is the reason why your government assists you to venture out and give guarantee and ensure we put financing package together, including working with our partners, ADB, working with our bilateral partners, and I want to thank ADB and I want to thank Australian government through IFA for standing in to make sure this support is given.
Minister for State-Owned Enterprises William Duma commended the government for supporting the vision of Air Niugini and allocating funds for the refleet program.
as we transition our fleet to Airbus A220, we must say goodbye to the Fokker fleet that has faithfully served our country for decades. These aircraft have been the workhorses of aviation in Papua New Guinea. But just like when the DC-3s were retired so many years ago, we recognize that there's a time and place that we must move on to the next generation. The refleeting of Air Niugini is a massive step forward, never been done before by any government except this government, the Marawi government.
President of Airbus Asia Pacific Anand Stanley said the acquisition of the Airbus A220-300 series aircraft marks Air Niugini's partnership with an elite group of airlines operating the world's most modern single-aisle aircraft.
Did you know that thousands of people at Airbus have touched this aircraft? It is not some mechanical process. Thousands of people have touched this aircraft. 127 painters and artists have painted this aircraft. Dedicated team, 11 distinct colors, special airbrushing techniques, and final touches by hand. The people of New Guinea deserve no less. Distinct liveries, dazzling onboard fittings and comfort. This aircraft represents cutting edge of onboard technology. Almost half this aircraft is with advanced materials. It has optimized aerodynamics, latest generation engines from Pratt & Whitney, and 30% less fuel consumption, 30% less carbon emissions. A beautiful country like Papua New Guinea deserves nothing less green and sustainable.
Mr. Stanley explained that the arrival of Air Niugini's new Airbus A220-300 was adorned with the artwork of 127 talented individuals, marking a significant milestone both for the airline and for the representation of local artistry in aviation. He said thousands participated in the painting and design of the aircraft. He said this unique initiative showcases the artistic talents of local painters and symbolizes cultural pride.
This signifies not just the 50th birthday, but this is the people's balus that brings Papua New Guinea as a nation. And indeed, it is a symbol of progress, unity, pride, and the A220 is the best. But the best is not less than what the people of Papua New Guinea deserve. Papua New Guinea is the 25th operator worldwide with world-class airlines for this new bird of paradise.
Anand clarified that the A220-300 is noted for its advanced technology, fuel efficiency, and passenger comfort, making it a valuable addition to Air Niugini's fleet. On Saturday, October 4, 2025, the People's Balus made its first inaugural commercial flight to Lae's Najab Tomodachi International Airport. In command was Air Niugini's Captain Timothy Narara and Airbus Captain Christian Felix Patslatko. The flight operated as Flight PX-100. Among those on board were Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso, Minister Duma, Air Niugini management staff, including board chairman Carl Yalo and acting chief operations officer Captain Samuel Taufa. The Air Niugini's Airbus A22P2 PGA returned to Port Moresby before continuing on to New Island for their first passenger flights to Kavieng Airport before flying on to Manus.
Drop a like or comment on this story later on the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. After the break, one career policeman is calling it a day after 50 years of service to the people and country. Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Command, Peter Guinness, readies to retire. Many individuals have grown with Papua New Guinea when it became politically independent. One of them is the current Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Command, Peter Guinness. ACP Guinness, a career police officer, has no regrets as he readies to retire after 50 years in the force.
Peter Guinness, who is currently the Assistant Commissioner of Police for the Northern Command, joined the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary when he was only 16 years old. Now in his 60s, in a time when Papua New Guinea celebrated 50 years of self-governance and sovereignty, ACP Guinness stood tall and looked back on a profession that he had served with distinction and an unblemished record of service. With pride, he addressed the Lay Joint Forces Parade at the Eriku Oval on Friday, September 12, 2025. The parade by the Royal PNG Constabulary, Correctional Services and PNG Defence Force, including the Australian Defence Force marching band, was a show of strength leading to the celebration of PNG's 50th independence anniversary.
In the 50 years that I have served the police force, I have not been dealt with the disciplinary charge. Minok siwan play siwar, minok siwan play MDOR, mistrom plaman and no misana Vietnamese. And I will gracefully retire from the RPNGC. And it is also a privilege and honor for me to address this parade. This may be my last official presentation or engagement in addressing a parade of this magnitude. Now, I'd like to thank John Rosso, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Housing, for giving me this honor. In fact, he should be the one addressing this parade, but I'm like Lomilo making because of the 50 years that I've served, and shortly by me browsing this uniform, and by me go become a member of the public, and one day, someday, I'll be standing amongst the crowd like this to watch you guys come on the parade like this.
ACP Guinness further reminded the joint forces of their roles and responsibilities in serving the nation, emphasizing the need to be selfless.
Selflessly get the sovereign right of PNG by upholding our respective code of ethics in our respective organizations. The Defense Force, the Police Force, the CS, in the code of ethics. We got to live by the code of ethics. The code of ethics it's a directing principle for us. As the Constitution of PNG differentiates our specific roles and responsibilities in enforcing and maintaining the rule of law in our society. So that doesn't mean to say that being a soldier or being a CS officer is still part and parcel of enforcing the rule of law in Papua New Guinea. Yes, you wear different uniform, and the Constitution of Papua New Guinea dictates what you do in your role and in your responsibility. But when you look at it in the general sense, responsibility in our work is to enforce the rule of law so that we will have a better country, better, and look after the interest of us. Celebrate our history and inspire our future by working as one people, one country, and one nation. And it is our collective duty and responsibility as members of the disciplinary forces to ensure and to make sure that we live in a community that is safe and secure for all of us to live harmoniously. 50 years on, and we must protect this gift of land and freedom, for they are the foundation upon which we will build the next 50 years. So when them this la, a chopla talk can finish also. But before I sit down, I'd like to bring our attention long story long Bible as a Christian myself. Now you may look for a very long time. Moses, Kisimol, Israelites long go out to the promised land that God has wanted them to go. Sovereign. PNG struggles, but it is free. PNG flatters, but it still stands proud. 50 years on, we must protect this gift of land, freedom, for they are the foundation upon which we will build the next 50 years. Thank you, Thomas. For those of you on the parade, ladies and gentlemen who are here, thank you, Loharam Blayubla. Papa God yet, and we look sabe lo mipla, lo destiny lo mipla, na emiet, but bless you mipla, lo way belong and lo time belong. Thank you one and all.
Member for Lay and Deputy Prime Minister John Russell made special mention of ACP Guinness, describing him as an exemplary example of a man in uniform.
Constabulary. Miletok yumi ogra fight in big plan, lo disla assistant commissioner yumi. And 50 years and working one time now, 50 years anniversary. Please, Mr. Peter Guinness, you stand up now. Ogra public look at you. And young plus 17-year-old policeman. They come up God and now country 50 years independence, na time blame to retire one time. This la man mi sablo high school yet and mi look at policeman and been commander of the task force lo here. Go stop lo ogera, but them come back and now look at the mangi. Big plan lo sibik, but the mangi late too.
Russell shared that ACP Guinness, inspired by his father, started his policing career in April 1975.
His policing career in April 1975 as a 16-year-old, inspired by his father. He rose through the ranks from constable to assistant commissioner, straight from the ranks all the way up. Over the decades, he has served with distinction as head of NCDC, CID, Task Force Lay, Provincial Police Commander for Morobe, and now as the Assistant Commissioner for the Northern Command. His leadership has been instrumental in managing some of the most complex, volatile law and order challenges in our country, particularly in Morobe and the Highlands region. Because of his strong leadership and the strong leadership of the officers and men under his command, Leisa Sinam good because of all this old man. Leisa Sinam good. ACP Guinness, you have become a symbol of resilience and professionalism in our constabulary and our disciplined forces, mentoring generations of officers, contributing to community policing, peace, justice, and national security. On behalf of the people of Ley, Morobe Province, a grateful nation, and indeed, Papua New Guinea, I thank you for your service, sacrifice, loyalty. Your legacy will continue to inspire officers within the RPNGC and beyond. Officers of Joint Forces on this Golden Jubilee, let us reflect with pride on the journey you have traveled and we have traveled together as a nation. Let us honor the sacrifices of our disciplined forces, past, present, and future, who have stood firm and will stand firm in service of our country. To the men and women marching today, you're not only defenders of our sovereignty, but also symbols of our unity and strength as a nation. Your discipline, your courage, and your service continue to inspire all of us. As we march into the next 50 years, let us do so with unity, purpose, and confidence in the future of Papua New Guinea. And country bluyumiet. If you do not believe in our country, ba ibo stop lo one more place, ba ibo sinam lo an lo diwayo one more. The onus is on us that we protect the nation, rebuild the nation, and ensure that our children have a prosperous future to be living in. Let us reflect on where we have come from, where we are going, and where we want to be. One people, one country, one nation, Papua New Guinea together. That is why we talk, Rausimol provincial flag, you may celebrate the country. You not celebrate the one province blue you. You let celebrate province blue, you go to place blue, you not celebrate him. The city Lolay, you celebrate him, one country, one people, one nation. Happy 50th Independence Anniversary, Papua New Guinea. May God bless everyone, the people of this great country, the Defense Force, our police, our correctional services, our children, and may God bless every single person. Want them this lamit of big, but take it through lo you plogera, lo harem me. Now tomorrow, the time the show about March again, but policeman me to thank you by you plaka March na tok again lo show by you bung one day pla lo Monday by got big plus celebration, lo Tuesday too by got big plus celebration. So people blow me lo lay me to big plus thank you lo you pla happy 50th independence lo each and every one of you. Me to thank you too. Lo you pla maki me as a member blow lay. Lo 2017 he come up now na me humble na me to big pla thank you through lo all gada blow you pla. Me one pla proud member because lo hand blow you pla na mission up. Na me represent Ley. Very, very proud of each and every citizen of Ley. Thank you, True. God bless him, you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Scope. Visit the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and leave a like or comment on our Scope stories this week. I'm Tracy Pa. See you then.